everyone, welcome back to my channel, and also welcome back to the Anime Podcast Show. Here we are, 2024, that's nuts, fam. And I hope you had an incredible Christmas, an incredible New Year's, and what a way to kick off the year. And let's do the show. So let's kick off the show as normal with the first segment, and that would be new interest in anime. So if you guys don't remember that segment, let me break it down. So in this segment, I talked about a series that I got into during post-pandemic in early 2022 and throughout of 2023. So in this series I got into would be about a secret organization of jujitsu sorcerers to eliminate a powerful curse. That's a little hint. Well, what is it? Well, this show is called Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen is a manga series written and illustrated by Judge Akutami. It's been published in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine from March of 2018 to the present day for 20 plus volumes. And they even had their own prequel story called Jujutsu Kaisen 0 for a single volume and been published by Jump Gaia as the beginning of the story. So why not mention about the anime? So here it is about the anime. So the series, the first season actually, it got first announced way back in late of 2019. It will be animated by MAPPA, and us fans, we wouldn't expect of this kind of shonen series because it's super crazy. Of course, the story is bloody insane. So it aired between October 2020 to March of 2021. Of course, it came success. People loved it, especially the ladies. Sorry, I have to say that. Anyway, after the successful season run, it got announced on the exact day of the final episode of season 1 that MAPPA had plans to make a feature film for Jujutsu Kaisen, and that would be their prequel story from their manga from before, and that it will be Jujutsu Kaisen 0. So that's crazy. I wouldn't have expected that they were going to do the movie after the successful first season, so that's nuts. So the film would be out in December of 2021. Of course, it came hugely success, including by the English critics saying positive reviews. And even us fans, we love this freaking movie. So if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend watching it on Crunchyroll. So 2 months after the film was released, it's been announced that a second season is set to air in some time in 2023. And with more time to animate and produce it, they are rebroadcasting in Japan season 1 throughout of 2022 until it was revealed around mid of 2022 season 2 will be airing for 2 core seasons, and as the adaptation of the Gojo's past and Shibuya incident arcs until they aired it in August to December of 2023. Now moving to the English dub by one main studio that they are dubbing from Studio Applus. So the dub came out by Crunchyroll, premiered on November of 2020. Then season 2 came out in July of 2023 to January 2024. But by the time the video comes out, season 2 for the dub has or might be finished, or maybe it is already been finished by now. I don't know. But lastly will be the dub for the movie, and that came out in March of 2022. What's the reason I got into Jujutsu Kaisen anyway? So, I was around when they announced for season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know much about the show, so I'd waited until it comes out. And then when we hit November of 2020, by the time of the dub is ready to come out, I was doing a hangout for Sailor Moon. I'll talk about that in a future episode about Sailor Moon. Anyway, I was chatting with him, and he said to me, saying, "Have you heard of Jujutsu Kaisen?" And I said, "Yeah, I heard of it, but I never seen it." However, I wasn't ready to watch it just yet. I didn't start watching it until early 2022 because of the movie was coming out by that time, so I'd already watched like 8 to 10 episodes in, and I was freaking hooked. Then the movie came out, but I didn't get to see it got to see it on my birthday, actually. And I was really happy about it and fell in love with Jujutsu Kaisen ever since. So that is it for my interest with Jujutsu Kaisen. So now let's move on to the next segment of the show, and that will be Topic of the Week segment. I talked about random topics as a top 5 or a top 10 list. Well, mostly top 5. Anyway, for today's topic will be about supernatural anime. So what I'm saying about supernatural is the supernatural genre. So the supernatural stories involved unexplainable elements on Earth featuring creatures from folklore and human with metaphysical powers. The presence of powers in a few characters while the rest are skeptical makes it supernatural. Whereas if most of the cast has magical abilities, it is fantasy. Stories can rarely be both supernatural and fantasy. So I got a top 5 list of what anime series is in this category. So let's start off with this show. So kicking off with the list is Shaman King. Like why? Why did you choose Shaman King? So the narrative delves into a captivating realm where enigmatic phenomena transcend conventional understanding, reaching into the realms of the supernatural and the extraordinary. At the heart of this tale are the shamans, individuals gifted with a profound connection to the spirit world, enabling them to commune with ethereal entities and wield their formidable powers for both guidance and action. Next up, in number 4, has to be Noblesse. Why Noblesse? Well, it's due to the premise of the story with a powerful vampire with an extraordinary. However, the series explored themes of immortality, supernatural combat, and the coexistence of different abilities. These elements combined with the illusion of supernatural creatures and utilization of supernatural powers contribute to Noblesse being in this genre. With number 3, JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Why? Why is it in this category? Well, due to its prominent use of supernatural powers, mystical elements of intense battles involving stands. Stands are supernatural manifestations of a person's fighting spirit, each possessing unique and often bizarre abilities. The series also incorporates vampires, ancient artifacts, and other supernatural forces, adding to its overall supernatural themes. In number 2, why did I choose Fruits Basket? Why did I choose it? Well, here's the reason. Because of course, there had been a lot of supernatural themes throughout the story involving a cursed family. The members of the Soma family are affected with a curse that transforms them into animals from a Chinese zodiac. This supernatural element, along with themes of personal growth and relationships, forms a significant part of the narrative. The series also incorporates mystical powers and spiritual connections, further solidifying in its classification with the genre. Number 1 in the list. Well, I have to give this to, of course, Death Note. Why did I choose Death Note? Well, because it's obvious, as it's involved with a notebook that grants the power of cause of death. Nothing I could say is the series has explored the themes of mortality, power, and the consequences of playing God, making it a prominent example, and especially had become as one of the best supernatural anime series of all time. So that is it for the topic of the week segment, and we are going to move on to the last segment of the show, and that will be anime reviews. So in this segment, I talked about anime series I got into during the years of 2017 to 2020, just right before the pandemic. So after getting into Sword Art Online, a series I wouldn't get into for these type of violent series, as it becomes as a global success by one, the only, Titans. Oh yes, Attack on Titan. So here's where my journey started. So it started with during the peak of season 1. It was way back in 2014. I remember I was in school and our teacher letting us to watch an episode of Attack on Titan in Japanese. But back then, I didn't know you can watch fully Japanese series or movies because I usually watch anime in English back then. And I was like, nope, I'm not watching it. So I'd ignored it for years, man. Until when I came back in 2017. But however, this was the following year in 2018 in my final year of high school. My classmate mentioned to me saying, why are you not watching Attack on Titan? But I said, I don't know what the hell I said. But I said the most dumbest answer I said was, nah, I'm not that interested just yet. He said, because of the violence? I'd actually said, I don't mind the violence, just not interested yet. The following year in 2019, this is a part 2 of the story, what I said in the SAO video. Anyway, after my friends won the bet, that's when I started watching Attack on Titan. I loved the first half of season 1, season 2, and the second half of season 3 because the premise of the show, I just liked it. Anyway, leading up to Supernova, that's when I met Bryce Papenbrook. So gearing up for the con for those 3 days. Originally, for us conventions for Supernova, it was for 3 days. But nowadays, it's 2 days because the pandemic destroyed it. And I'd missed a 3-day con, so I missed that. So it was June of 2019. Our 5 incredible guests, Eric Stewart, Dan Green from Yu-Gi-Oh!, of course, Bryce, and at the last minute was Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat from Dragon Ball. And, of course, was their last promotional for the Dragon Ball Super Broly film, because they were doing a rescreening in our local cinemas. Anyway, Bryce was the first person I spoke with at the con. First thing he said to me was, I still don't know what happened next. So, Bryce is referring to is one of the volumes he signed for me and ready to be adapted for the Underworld arc, before the light novels got removed in Australia for some goddamn reason. I don't want to explain about that. Anyway, after my conversation with Bryce, I was like, this guy's incredible and nicest person ever. Then spoke with him throughout the con for the next 2 days, and one of the panels he done is a voiceover presentation, and that's when I got inspired to getting into the voice acting. And finally, on the last day, I spoke with Bryce for the last time, and we'd spoke normally for 10 minutes straight. Like, I mentioned him about Anime Expo with Jeremy, that the both of them are hosting for that panel in that year, including bloopers, talk with him about that. Anyway, back in topic here, I'd continued with Attack on Titan. Then I was around when they announced for the final season. Back then, we were really, really excited for this. Until it got confusing with part 1, 2, and 3. What's going on? Still don't know if it's gonna end or what. Well, that is it for the anime review segment, and that is it of the podcast. So what a way to kick off the new year of 2024 and Season 7. So that's very exciting. Looking forward throughout this year. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. And don't miss a single video every time I drop a new video if you want to know when I upload again. So take care of yourselves, everyone, and stay safe. Peace.